things that why I'm saying business etiquette is particularly because certain or you can say professionalism, or you can rephrase into your professionalism, or you can say it as business etiquette that we actually need in case when we are working in any organization or when we are part of any sort of formal events, the etiquette or the things that we need to keep in mind, and we need to follow these so as to impart a very good impression onto others or onto individuals who sort of we are communicating with, or who sort of we are dealing with in case of those formal occasions. All right. So now the things that we'll particularly try to cover in this PPT are your etiquettes. Why do we need, or what is the impact of etiquettes in today's life? What are basically your business etiquettes, importance, effect, and how we need to basically deal in a situation, how we need to behave in a situation where a collaborative type of situation where both your men and women are working together, and what are the different types of business etiquette. So we will overall try to cover every aspect relating to the etiquettes only. So to begin with, what are etiquettes? Etiquette basically is a code of behavior that talks, or that is there in order to that is in there as per your social expectations, or we can say a social obligation is concerned. So in a way, it talks about that how do we need to particularly work, or particularly stay in society, so that we are in a way honored, or we are in a way remembered or noticed by the group of people we are surrounded by. So your etiquettes is a code of behavior that we as individuals showcase when we are part of a particular society's event, or when we are in a social gathering, in a class, or in a group. The kind of etiquette, or the kind of expression that we portray to others, that particularly are good etiquette. Now, some of the common etiquettes that we have, they are first of all, starting with your social etiquette. Social etiquette as in how do we actually behave? What is our behavior in our society? How do we actually behave in the society? How we are doing towards the society, or how do we behave, or how do we stay focused, or in a way, how do we stay properly or live properly in a social group of people, or in a social gathering, or within our society. Then we have corporate etiquettes. Now, the corporate etiquette again is something very important that we need to understand and realize. As in, sooner or later, we end up being professionals, and there are certain things that certain things, certain rules and responsibilities that are to be followed. So, your corporate etiquettes are those etiquettes, or corporate etiquettes are those in which it is a briefing relating to, or it is a set of rules that we need to follow when we enter into our professional lives, and not only when we enter into our professional lives, and how do we need to manage or tackle things, or tackle people over there through our behavior, and what are the rules that we need to basically follow. That actually comes into your corporate etiquettes. Your interview etiquettes. Now, this is another and a very important set of etiquettes that a student must have in him. Interview etiquette on a whole is very important, because in a way it is something that that we as individuals, while studying, always aim for, that we need to crack such and such interviews to get placed into an organization, or to get placed into our dream company. So the set of rules, or the set of instructions that we need to follow, and that we need to keep in mind while undergoing interview practice, are your interview etiquettes. For your interview etiquettes, there's certain rules, starting from your dress sense to your to your way of talking, to the way of you behaving in the interview, to the way you are controlling your expressions or your body language in an interview. Everything, or everything is noticed, and everything is being judged, and all those aspects, or all those areas are covered into your, or are summed up into this one section, being as your interview etiquette. Now then we have business etiquettes. Now these business etiquettes are certainly those are certainly the set of rules that we need to get particularly are the rules or set of instructions that we need to particularly follow in a business world environment. Now to begin with, first of all, your business etiquettes. Your business etiquettes are particularly, or you can say business etiquette is an expected behavior and expectation for individual action within society, group, or class. It is basically, the expected behavior of an individual to when 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 that person is a part of a particular social group or a society or a kind of gathering, and what kind of behavior he showcases or behavior he imprints on the others, that particular comes into your business etiquette. We as humans are, somehow wanted to be, or somehow wanted to behave in a certain manner in a certain situation, and those things that are those set of rules or those set of instructions that we particularly need to follow when being in any sort of situation, any sort of environment of society dealing with people, that particularly refers to your etiquettes. So now, when we are within a place of business, when we are a part of any sort of business activities or business deal, we are in place of a business. The set of rules or the set of expected behavior that is being asked, or that is being asked, और जो rules हमें follow करने होते हैं, और जो rules हम follow करते हैं so as to impart a very good impression on the others and to impress other people around us, that particularly refers to your business etiquettes. Business having good business etiquettes, or in a way having a good professional etiquette in yourself, in a way, is very important, because it helps you to build strong relationships. As in, now you notice if other person is respectful towards you, or if he is not misbehaving with you, you automatically do not initiate a fight. If somebody is giving you a sort of attitude or is misbehaving with you, that is when we react in an opposite manner. So having realizing the importance of etiquettes and realizing the importance of these etiquettes in our lives, first of all, they help to build strong relationships. As in, if we ourselves are respectful towards others, we'll end up getting respect. It is all about what we give, and what we give is what we end up with. All right. So in a way, there is a saying called "what you sow, so shall you reap." That is how it goes in case of your business or any environment. That how you behave with the other people is the way they'll judge you upon, and they'll automatically behave with you. So if you are polite with others, they'll again, there is no sort of situation जहाँ पे अगर आप आगे से polite और कोई आगे से आपसे रूड हो रहा है बिना बात, all right. So in a way, it's having good etiquette or realizing the importance of these things, having good etiquette and managing ourselves in a way, what happens is ultimately it helps us in building strong relationships firstly. Secondly, it also helps to impart, or it also helps in building or boosting up the positive atmosphere around us. If we ourselves are positive enough, if we ourselves are somehow positive enough and are acting in a way that if we ourselves are positive enough and are acting in a way that that everywhere around us is positivity, and people and our people and me and people are all are working in harmony, in peace, and getting good results. So automatically, if there is positive atmosphere around me, I'll be more positive and I'll be more energetic towards my work and try to complete all my tasks within the due period or within the deadline or before the deadline. So automatically, again, in sort of you must have realized that आपके अरे परे कुछ भी थोड़ा बहुत negative है, it sort of affects you and your performance. So ultimately, having good etiquette in a way containing positivity within us will automatically impart positivity around us and will create an energetic sort of an atmosphere around us, will create a positive atmosphere around us where we are boosting our performances or working more efficiently towards achieving our targets or achieving our particular goals set for us. So you're having good etiquette or having good business etiquette in us. In a way, first of all, it helps us to build strong relationships. As we all know that, or in a way, we all are familiar that yes, we all are familiar that if we ourselves are not rude with the other person, or we ourselves are somehow polite with others, ultimately what happens is this, that the other person is also polite with him, and if we end up being into a friendly sort of environment with him, we end up being friends with that person. So yes, in a way, it helps us to build strong relationships. It helps us to boost positivity around us, and then it also um, boosts our confidence enough. As in, we know how to deal with people, we know we are confident around people. So automatically, the confidence, if we're confident around people, automatically reflects through our attitude, through our behavior, through our work. So, in a way, in this sort of way, it also helps. It is also very helpful. Apart from that, it also prevents misunderstanding, as if there is no negativity around us. People think good of us and we think good about the people. So automatically there's no sort of negative energy to come across in the room we are sitting in. So it prevents misunderstandings as well. So yes, that is how that is how your business etiquette, or this is how your business etiquettes particularly go in, or why actually are they important, so as to live, or so as to do work in harmony, in peace with all our colleagues, and ultimately work towards our goal, and work towards reaching the company's goal, and towards reaching our particular goal. Then we did talk about the types of business etiquettes that we have. The first one being your telephone etiquettes, then we have dining etiquettes, office etiquettes, meeting etiquettes, and etiquettes. So, first of all, let's start with your telephonic etiquette. Now, this again, telephonic, we all are familiar with this instrument called, with this device named telephone, and we often, or it is an important and a must part of our day-to-day life, because again, we not only from attending calls on a phone to now attending or gaining knowledge, or attending lectures and gaining knowledge through our phone, everything there is that is in a way now attached to a small device called your telephones. So for your telephone etiquette, it is very much important, because again it becomes, because if that device is so much important, it is a must in our lives. It has become a vital part of our lives. So again, it becomes important to realize the importance of telephone etiquettes, to follow certain rules, to showcase that yes, I am a professional. It is not a random person you're talking with, or it is not a random person you're communicating to. I am again, in a way, I'm a sort of person who is good, who has telephone etiquette, who knows how to through this device as well, how to showcase that I am a professional. I am a person that in a way follows the rules and goes by the rules. So for your telephone etiquettes, firstly refers to certain principles of, or you can certain principles of behavior that one should follow while attending or while accessing any sort of business telephony calls. All right, while not only business telephony calls, while being or while being a part of any sort of calls, or any sort of calls to business, calls to phone, which in a way what actually is doing is checking upon your, or in a way is helping you grow in an organization. So for your telephone etiquette, first of all, it is, as the name suggests, through the etiquette that we need to follow while being or while attending or while having a conversation or while having a business telephonic call. All right. So first of all, the certain rules that we need to basically follow is first of all is to identify yourself when making a call. Whenever making a call, identify yourself. That is, like, suppose you are the person who's calling, so automatically the other person picks up. It should be you who initiate the conversation, saying, hello, my name is this, or I am this from this organization. All right, my name is this, and I'm calling from such and such organization. Hello, Shweta here, calling from such and such organization. All right. So in a way, first of all, it becomes wholly and solely responsibility of the person who is making a call. All right. Now, the other person who is receiving the call, he has no idea. He's not somehow familiar with you. So automatically, for the good telephone etiquette skills, is that the person who's making the call is the one who needs to identify him or herself first. All right, you should not wait for the other person to identify himself. As you are making the call, as you are taking that initiative, so automatically it is your responsibility that you identify yourself whenever making a call. Second one, address the caller by his name in a courteous manner. So again, if it is a business call, so automatically you can refer, in case you know the name of the other person, you need to refer to him using his name. Hello, am I speaking to this person? All right. Now, another approach to it would be to say sir or ma'am, or to refer to them using sir or ma'am. Avoid saying didi, bhaiya, uncle, auntie, dadu, dadi, nothing. Whenever being a part of your professional, organization or making a business telephonic call, uh, the other person, if you think, okay, just hello, we tend to get this knowledge that the person I'm speaking to is an elderly or is at the younger age. So what you need to do is do not refer or do not get into the personal zone. Refer to them using professional words only. Like, if in case you know their name, refer to them using their name, or you can refer to them by saying sir or ma'am. Now, again, you need to be polite and we need to be very courteous. As it is your first impression on that person, you need to be polite and be courteous enough to continue with the conversation. The next thing, keep your conversation very brief. Keep it to the point. You should not, like, within the first 2 minutes, the idea behind your call should be clear. All right. The idea behind you calling to the other person, maybe you're offering them, you're talking to them about a business deal. So within the first 2 minutes only, you should have given them, or you'd have delivered or given them a brief idea that what actually are you talking about, or what is the reason for you to call them. All right, what is the reason basically for you to call them, and to so that should be very much clear within the first 2 minutes. You need to keep your conversation brief. Only mention the things that are important, that are highlights or important postulates from your entire conversation or your entire script. So only refer to those. If you think that now, you find out that yes, now there is the need for you to somehow come up with the explanation, or come up with more suitable examples to it, then what you can do is then you can elaborate upon it. But mostly try to keep it brief, to the point, and very crisp. Next, never be impatient. Impatient as in suppose you're calling somebody and it's a very important thing that you're discussing, and suddenly someone is suddenly a sort of there's sort of hindrance or sort of noise in between, and you're not able to communicate easily with the other person, or you're not able to break that shell easily. So again, what you actually need to do is that you need not be impatient. Be calm, be composed, and the other person is also trying his hard to get to you, and to talk to you. So automatically don't lose your patience, be calm, and also do listen to your listening skills basically come in very important, because again the entire conversation is based upon you speaking, the other person listening, and then he speaking and you listening. So automatically, after you have delivered your script, or after you've spoken about what you wanted to, the other person automatically would come up with his opinion, or would automatically share his views on whatever you are discussing on. So whatever you're discussing on, so he'll automatically listen very carefully to what he is explaining or what he is talking about, so that you are clear with his doubts and you can clarify them very nicely and very patiently. So listening again is जितना important speaking है, जितना important बोलना है, उतना ही important सुनना भी है. So your listening and speaking basically goes side by side. You can never think of a healthy communication where only you are speaking and आगे से कोई response नहीं आ रहा है. All right, an effective communication is that in which equal participation from both the ends is there. That is, you speaking, others listening, and understanding and comprehending those things, and then suggesting, or then giving, then coming up with their own ideas or views, and then you listening to them, and so on and so forth. The discussion and the pattern continues. So yes, here again, you need to be patient enough and also have good listening abilities in you, so that whatever the second person is trying to communicate, or whatever the second person is actually saying, you are getting it as it is, and then after analyzing what he has spoken, or whatever things he shared, or whatever things he spoke about, you come up with your opinion to it. All right, then this one your discussion, or you can say this one the communication process continues. Another important thing is never interrupt a person while he's speaking. As in when you were trying to speak, he did give you your space, your time to share your views or your opinion. Likewise, when he is trying to communicate, listen to him carefully and do not interrupt in between. Let him complete his point first, and then you can, clarify your doubts, or clear your doubts again. So first of all, let him complete and then come up with your doubts, because again, if you interrupt him in between, it seems like आप सिर्फ अपनी बात सुनाना चाह रहे हैं. You do not care about what the next person is trying to say, or what next person is feeling or speaking at that moment. So again, what is required of you is this, that you listen to these statements carefully, and while listening, you are not at all interrupting in between. You are paying full attention to what he or she is basically trying to communicate, and you are not interrupting the person in between. The next thing is, do not eat or chew something while speaking on phone. Now again, it is very important that when you're speaking, your entire focus or your entire attention should be on on the other person, should be on what you are actually trying to communicate, or what idea you're basically trying to put into his mind or into his thoughts. So again, do not impart, or do not do any such thing in which showcases that you're not focused on what you're doing right now. So do not eat or chew something while you're speaking on phone. Again, all right. Now this is very important, that if you wish to put the caller on hold, request his permission to do so. All right. Now it is very unprofessional to do that. You're speaking and suddenly you realize that for checking up on the details, I would have to put this person on hold. और आप ऐसे बिना बताए उसको होल्ड में डाल के चल दिए कहाँ. He does not have any idea what is happening. Why are you on hold? Does he need to wait, or does he need to, or what actually is the situation? So always, while you are keeping, or while you are keeping the other person, or while you putting other person on hold, always tell them, and request them, in case of your business things, always request them that, sir, I need to check upon some details or some data of yours, for which I would have to put you on hold. Can you please wait? Or can I please wait? Just request him with, or politely tell them about what is the situation or what is the matter, and then put him on hold, rather than, not even informing the other person. आपने सीधे क्या किया, hold पे डाला, and you're checking his details. By the time you return back, the other person has already left because he was not clear कि ये क्या हुआ. Automatically your information and the purpose is not solved. So again, what is required is this: whenever you are putting, whenever there's a need that you need to put your caller onto hold, or caller onto hold, what is needed from you is that you request, or at least inform that what is the situation about, what actually is the situation all about, and then you further put that person on hold. Now, next thing is always close your conversation with an appropriate salutation. All right. As important is as your initiation to a conversation, as important becomes your closing statement, or you can say a closing statement. Yes, you can say that, as important becomes your closing statement. So whenever you're closing the conversation, make sure that you are in a way greeting or providing them with proper salutation, so that it seems that the time they have invested in talking to you is worthy enough. All right, that it is useful enough, it is worthy enough. Next up, for your business telephonic etiquettes, let your caller or let the other person hang up first, then you should, because in case आपने पहले कर दिया and he or she had certain doubts that needed more clarity on, or that needed more idea upon, so more visual insight upon. So that again would be very bad for you, only because आपने उन्हें complete और entire information provide नहीं. So आपने उन्हें entire और appropriate information provide नहीं करी. So in a way, what is needed is this, that you let the caller hang up first, so that you're clear कि जो भी information that he does not have any sort of further questions to be asked, he is clear upon everything, and there are no further doubts or any sort of queries that are to be answered. All right. For now, certain things that in case you have missed calls, and missed calls, obviously you need to return back to them with a proper, within a particular reasonable time. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए miss call कर लाई थी और आप आज उन्हें contact कर रहे हैं. And secondly, if somebody in a way calls you by mistake, inform them politely that you reached the wrong number, rather than being rude. You're calling the wrong company or the wrong person. That is the other person. Be polite enough. Automatically be polite enough, and in a way try to be humble whenever humble whenever you are part of any sort of conversation, any sort of business conversation that is going on through your telephones, and understand and realize the importance of that situation and accordingly adapt to it. All right. Now, these were certain things. Now, in case, or we have all been part of your, we all have been part of your telephonic conversations. So at times, what will happen is, how do we actually deal with people, or dealing with angry callers, or people who are sort of short tempered? What we actually need to do is, first of all, listen to their problem very carefully. Whatever problem is being specified or suggested, listen to them very carefully, as it is important, because that is what is the issue. That is what is the cause behind them being angry. So your first step is to listen to their problem carefully and carefully, so that you understand, okay, fine, this is the situation that is what is causing this rage in him, this anger in him. Let him complete. Let him, do not interrupt him in between. Let the person complete his entire thing first, and once he's completed it, once he has completed it, do not go ahead with your strong statements like, yes, you are wrong. We try to make him understand, but again, usage of your words should be proper enough, should be polite, that you're somehow not turning that person more angry, or in a way what you're ending up is that that the other person is getting more angry by the way you are behaving to, by the way you're acting upon. So instead of saying you're wrong directly, you can try it the other way around. That is being more polite and trying to make him understand what actually is the situation. Now, empathize with him. It is very important. Like, yes, sir, I completely understand what you are saying. I know it's been a very difficult day for you. I apologize from the company's point of view. So, in a way, these sort of behavior, or these sort of things to be kept in mind, that you need to empathize with him, so that he knows that you build up that emotional sort of connect with him, and he knows that that you are actually understanding what he's trying to say, or you're actually are genuinely interested in solving his problem. All right, that you're actually and genuinely interested in solving his problem, and you're paying attention to whatever the cause or whatever the concern is. And yes, obviously, by the problem, whether you need to come up with a solution so as to satisfy, or so as to satisfy that angry customer of yours. So yes, you need to be very much familiar with the area, or with the sort of work that you are um, actually dealing in. So again, investigate properly about the complaint, go through the things, that why actually is the problem risen, and then try to solve it properly. uh, Guide him throughout the process. Keep on guiding him, that what you are doing, what is the entire process of or what to get to a proper solution, what is the actual process that is to be followed. Tell him about the process of solving that problem, and how actually can we solve that problem, what actually is things. So keep him well informed throughout the process of solving the problem. Do not mislead, as in case you know the problem does not have a solution, uh, the question comes, how would you tell him directly? So again, try the other way around, be polite with him, and talk to him about the various solutions or various things, and but do not mislead. If you think that yes, this problem does not have a solution to it, so again, be polite enough to talk to him, that yes, this problem does not have, but what are the other ways, or what are the other things that he or she can do so that the problem, if cannot be solved, but it can be somewhat lightened up. And once you have the solution, do make sure that you're calling him back and providing him with the solution. That is how you gain their faith and trust back, and they understand that yes, you've come up with the solution. It is not only that you were only speaking, you did have a solution, or you needed work time to come up to the exact solution. So now when you have it, or when you've reached that path, make sure that you are somehow coming up with the solutions. All right, so now your telephone etiquettes, and these etiquettes are important uh, from various angles, or from various point of view, in future as well in today. But but again, what is basically needed from your end is this, that you on yourself, you are being polite, and you're being polite, and you know what are the things that you're being particularly dealing with. And in case you're the person who are calling, so make sure you are the first person to introduce yourself, and then the other person is, somehow introducing himself and talking about it. um, and things that you particularly need to keep in mind for your angry callers is this, that you need to empathize with him. You need to somehow make him feel that yes, you are completely understanding his situation, and you're completely trying to come up, or trying your best to come up with the most workable solution that you can have for his or her problem. So again, your telephone etiquette, we do not have much time for the activity that I had planned. So never mind, we'll do that. I will try to have conduct that activity tomorrow relating to your etiquettes only. For today, telephone etiquettes. Why are we actually doing this? Because again, it is part of your personality development section. Because your MAPD, it particularly stands for your mentoring and your personality development. In a way, your grooming, in a way, making you aware of various professional etiquettes or professional things that we need to have in ourselves, that we need to make sure that we inculcate well before we are sitting into drives, and we have all these things. So again, you are not in your schools now, you are part of your schools, a professional college, when doing a professional degree. So so again, when you'll be working in the organization, these are the skills that they'll be particularly judging you upon when before entering into the organization, or before entering, being a part of that company's culture, or adapting to their work culture. And secondly, when you are part of the thing, part of that sort of environment, the next things would be, you'll be judged upon the way, on these etiquettes only, on these behavioral things that you need to follow, or these set of instructions, or these set of rules that you particularly need to follow in any organization or in any professional environment. So that is why these things are part of your syllabus. How syllabus, as in, are part of your curriculum, so that you are aware about the things, so that you know how to deal in a situation, how I actually need to behave. It is slightly different from what we have grown up behaving or grown up into. Here, the things are sort of, are not inclined towards what we feel. It is more inclined towards what is the need of the hour, or what actually situation demands us to do, or what actually situation demands us to come up with in or react in this in that particular scenario. So that is basically the idea behind these business etiquettes to be taught to you, these telephone etiquettes to be, just remind you of. We all are familiar with these things. We all know that how do we actually need to behave, what are the things. But what happens is, when we actually are in part of that situation or in that scene, we somehow tend to behave the opposite of what is intended, and we somehow react in an opposite manner. So to avoid that thing, to avoid those situations from rising, what is required, that we already know ki, haan, theek hai, this situation may, it is not about how what I feel. This situation, it is about how do I handle it, how do I need to control my emotions, or be emotionally have a good emotional intelligence question, and sort of um, sort of deal with the emotions, and make deal with the emotions in a way that they are not hampering my performance. They are in a way boosting up my performance. All right. So that is what is covered in your telephone etiquettes. The activity based on this, and the further line of etiquettes, like your dining etiquettes, or your social etiquettes, that or interview etiquettes, that we'll be covering up in the coming sessions. And tomorrow we'll be having we'll also be doing certain things based on your activity based on the same. For today, it is about your telephone etiquettes. Are the things clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
All right then. Um, किसी का नेम डिफरेंट है फ्रॉम व्हाट इज देयर इन योर अटेंडेंस